I would like to welcome members of our appointments and council meeting to our, excuse me, I'll start again. I would like to welcome members to our appointments council meeting. In particularly, I would like to welcome back those councillors who were returned at the recent election, and to take this opportunity to welcome new councillors to Burnley Council. Councillor Rongzeb Ali, Councillor Ashley Brown, Councillor Barbara Dole, and Councillor Ivor Emo. Welcome back, Ivor. And Councillor Gemma Haig, and Councillor Sean Spurrell, and Councillor Andy Waddington. Can I ask members and members of the public not to talk amongst themselves during the meeting, as this can be very distracting for those who are listening to the debate. Can I also ask everyone to ensure any mobile devices are switched to silent and do not cause a distraction during the meeting. I would remind everyone that use of mobile devices for taking or making of phone calls is not permitted in the meeting. I would also remind members that they are not required to stand when addressing the council. Sorry, I would also remind members that when they are able to, that they are required to stand when addressing the council meeting. We are not expecting a fire alarm tonight, but if one should occur, officers will direct you to the assembly point on Manchester Road. The meeting is being streamed, and I would like to take this opportunity to welcome those watching on the council's YouTube channel. And finally, members, let us remember to treat each other of the public, elected members and officers with respect throughout the meeting, as set out in the code of conduct for members. Item 1 on the agenda, minutes of the previous meeting of the council held on the 17th of April 2024. I will move those minutes. Mr. Deputy Mayor, will you second those minutes?
I'll second those minutes, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favour, please say aye. The minutes are approved. Item 2 on the agenda, declaration of interest. Are there any declaration of interest? None received then. Item 3 on the agenda, Mayor's communication.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On behalf of the Mayor, I have the following announcement to make. Mayor at Home will take place on Tuesday, the 21st of May, between 2 till 4 p.m. at Burnley Town Hall. Future mayoral events will be announced in due course. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 4, public question time. We have one speaker this evening, Mr. David Roper. Please, can you come forward? Mr. Roper, you have up to 5 minutes.
Thank you. My question is short and sweet. Why were the lights on in Burnley Town Hall 5th floor on Saturday morning at 5 a.m?
Is that it, Mr. Roper?
That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Roper. You may return to your seat.
Thank you.
Councillor Margaret Rishman, can you please respond to Mr. Roper?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can, and I'd like to thank Mr. Roper for his question and for alerting us to this issue. I've checked with officers, and on this particular occasion, there was no early morning work taking place. So it definitely wasn't that there was work going on. It seems therefore likely that perhaps the lights were left on when staff left on Friday evening. Either that, or sometimes the spotlights on the front of the town hall will reflect in and look light. So it could be that.
Mr.
but
Roper,
it's
please.
more likely to be that the lights were left on.
Mr. Roper, can you please quiet, please? Otherwise, we'll have to tell you.
Fortunately, the council has low energy bulbs throughout the buildings now. In the corridors, these are all light sensor, so that they turn off when nobody is moving. We don't tend to put those in the offices because it's inappropriate to have staff waving their arms to make sure the lights are working. But in this instance, it would appear that perhaps somebody has left it on. If they have left it on, the fact that it's low energy will hopefully ensure that the cost on this occasion was not massive. But thanks to Mr. Roper's alert, all the staff have now received a reminder to be more vigilant and to turn the lights off when they leave the building. And hopefully this will not be repeated. I therefore thank Mr. Roper for his inquiry. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Richmond. And thank you, Mr. Roper. You're welcome to stay or leave. It's entirely up to you. Item number 5 on the agenda. You're welcome. Item number 5 on the agenda, appointment by the leader of the executive and the executive portfolios. Members have received via their iPads a supplementary agenda item which informs members of the council of the appointment by the leader and deputy leader and executive members of their portfolio titles. Councillor Anwar, can you please confirm you have appointed the deputy leader and executive members, and then confirm to members of the council who has been appointed and their portfolio roles or titles?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can confirm that I've appointed the following members to the relevant portfolios. Deputy Leader, Councillor Margaret Lishman. Executive Member for Resources and Performance, Councillor Margaret Lishman. Executive Member for Development and Growth, Councillor Lubna Khan. Executive Member for Housing, Health and Culture, Councillor Jack Lorner. And Executive Member for Community and Environmental Services, Councillor Howard Baker. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Anwar. And any members? These are noted. Item number 6 on the agenda, items for decision by the council. Can I point out to members that items for decision by the council are treated as motions. Once a proposal has been moved and seconded, members may speak once and for a maximum of 5 minutes. Members may then speak again on an amendment. Agenda item 6A, updated statutory scrutiny guidance. Members will be aware this item is for noting only. As we haven't appointed a chair of scrutiny, I will move the report. Mr. Deputy Mayor, will you second that report?
I'll second that report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any members? No? This item is noted. Agenda item 6B, appointments to committees, working groups and panels, 2024 to 2025. The populated nominations made by political groups has been published as a supplementary agenda on mod.gov and is available to view on your iPads. We have contested nomination to Lancashire Police and Crime Panel, so we shall deal with that separately. First, we will deal with uncontested nominations. Councillor Afrasiab Anwar, will you please move the list of committees, working groups and panels, the uncontested nominations for those committees, working groups and panels?
I move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you please second those nominations?
I second those nominations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any member? All those in favour, please show. Those against? This motion is carried. We will now move on to contested nominations for Lancashire Police and Crime Panel. Members should note the balance of the committee across Lancashire has not been finalised. Therefore, changes may be requested by the Police and Crime Commissioner at a future time. I would like to point out a change to the nominations for the position of member. Councillor Townsend and Councillor Don Whittaker are nominated. Following nominations have been received to the position of substitute member, Councillor Gordon Birtwistle and Councillor Ashley Brown. Councillor Howard Baker, would you like to move the Lib Dem nominations?
I'll move those nominations, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Margaret Lishman, would you second those nominations?
Second those nominations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Mark Townsend, would you move the Labour Not Group nominations?
I move the Labour Group nominations, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Sue Graham, would you second those?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I second those.
Thank you. Councillor Alan Husker, would you move the Conservative Group nominations?
I move them nominations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Mike Steele, would you second that, please?
I second those nominations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Any member? Right, we'll now go to the vote on member of Police and Crime Panel. Members have one vote. Please raise your arm clearly and keep it raised until the counting has finished. Right, those in favour of Councillor Mark Townsend. Those in favour of Councillor Don Whittaker. Can you tell us who? Okay. Any abstentions? Okay. Thank you. Councillor Whittaker is appointed as member of the Lancashire Police and Crime Panel. Moving on to substitute member for Lancashire Police and Crime Panel, Councillor Gordon Birtwistle and Councillor Ashley Brown have been nominated. Members have one vote. Please raise your arm clearly and keep it raised until the counting has finished. All those in favour of Councillor Gordon Birtwistle. Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Ashley Brown. Any abstention? Abstain? Oh, do I? Yeah, I'll abstain. You realise. Right, and Councillor Birtwistle is appointed as member of the Lancashire Police and Crime Panel. Thank you. Sorry, substitute member of, do apologise. Councillor Birtwistle has been appointed as substitute member of Lancashire Police and Crime Panel. Item number 6, appointment of chairs and vice chairs of committees. The populated nominations made by political groups have been published as a supplementary agenda pack on mod.gov and are available to view on your iPads. All nominations are contested, so we'll move straight on. Councillor Townsend, will you move Labour Group nominations?
I move the Labour Group nominations, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Sue Graham, will you second those nominations?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I second those nominations.
Thank you. Councillor Afrasiab Anwar, will you move Burnley Independent nomination?
I move the Burnley Independent Group nominations, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Lubna Khan, will you second those nominations?
I second those nominations, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Alan Hosker, will you move the Conservative Group nominations?
I move them nominations, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Mike Steele, would you second those nominations?
I'll second the Conservative Group nominations, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. And Councillor Howard Baker, will you move the Liberal Democrat Group nominations?
I move those nominations, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Margaret Lishman, will you second those?
Second those nominations, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Jack Lorner, will you move the Green Group nominations?
I move the Green Group nominations, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Alex Hall, will you second that nomination?
I second the Green nominations.
Thank you. Any member? Right. I will now go to the vote for each positions in turn. Will members remember that they can vote only for one of the nominees? Chair of Audit and Standard Committee. All those in favour of Margaret Brindle, please show. All those in favour of Councillor Don Whittaker, please show. Any abstention? Thank you. Councillor Don Whittaker is appointed Chair of Audit and Standards Committee. Vice Chair of Audit and Standards Committee. All those in favour of Councillor Margaret Brindle, please show. All those in favour of Gordon Lishman, please show. Any abstention? Thank you. Councillor Lishman is appointed Vice Chair of Audit and Standards Committee. Chair of Development Control. Just going to wait for David to pass. All those in favour of Bill Horrocks, please show. All those, thank you. All those in favour of Christine Solis, please show. Thank you. Any abstention? And thank you. Councillor Christine Hollis is appointed Chair of Development Control. Chair of Development Control. And Vice Chair of Development Control. Members, can I draw your attention to a correction to the nomination for this position? Councillor Bill Horrocks and Martin Hurt are nominees for Vice Chair of Development Control. Yeah? And all those in favour for Councillor Bill Horrocks, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Martin Hurt, please show. Any abstentions? Thank you. Councillor Martin Hurt is appointed Vice Chair of Development Control. Chair of Licensing Committee. All those in favour of Charlie Briggs, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Anne Kelly, please show. Thank you. Any abstentions? Thank you. Councillor Anne Kelly is appointed Chair of Licensing Committee. Right. Chair and Vice Chair of Licensing Committee. All those in favour of Charlie Briggs, please show. All those in favour, thank you. All those in favour of Alan Husker, please show. Thank you. Any abstentions? Thank you. Councillor Alan Husker is Vice Chair of Licensing. Next, Chair of Scrutiny Committee. All those in favour of Councillor Gail Barton, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Jamie McGowan, show. Please show. Thank you. Any abstentions? Thank you. Councillor Jamie McGowan is appointed Chair of Scrutiny Committee. Vice Chair of Scrutiny Committee. All those in favour of Councillor Gail Barton, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Councillor Joanne Broughton, please show. Thank you. Any abstentions? Thank you. Councillor Joanne Broughton is appointed Vice Chair of Scrutiny Committee. Item 6D on the agenda, appointment to outside bodies. The populated nominations made by political groups have been published as supplementary agenda pack on mod.gov and are available to view on your devices. The nominations in the populated list are uncontested except for those for number 8, Burnley Together Steering Group, and number 11, Grove, Lancashire Substitute Member. I shall deal with the uncontested nominations first. Following the election, election of Councillor Jamie McGowan, Chair of Scrutiny, these positions qualified to the office are now uncontested as the competing nominations falls away. Councillor Frasiab Anwar, will you move all the uncontested nominations, which includes those qualified to either executive or opposition members or committee chairs?
I move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you second all those uncontested nominations?
I second the uncontested nominations, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour, please show. Thank you. Those against? Thank you. I declare the uncontested nominees to have been appointed. We shall now move to the contested appointments. Councillor Mark Townsend, will you move all the contested Labour Group nominations?
I move the contested Labour Group nominations, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Sue Graham, will you second that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I second that.
Thank you. Councillor Howard Baker, will you move all the contested Liberal Democrat Group nominations?
I so move, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Margaret Lishman, will you second that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I will take the votes for the contested appointments in turn. So outside body, item 8, Burnley Together Steering Group. We have received 2 nominations for 1 place. Councillor Gail Barton and Councillor Margaret Lishman have been nominated. Members have 1 vote. Please raise your arm clearly and keep it raised until the counting has finished. All those in favour of Councillor Gail Barton, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Margaret Lishman, please show. Thank you. Any abstentions? And thank you. Councillor Margaret Lishman is appointed to Burnley Together Steering Group. We move on to outside body and we're moving to outside body item 11, Growth Lancashire substitute member. We have received 2 nominations for 1 place. Councillors Gail Barton and Gordon Birtwistle have been nominated. Members have 1 vote. Please raise your arm clearly and keep it raised until the counting has finished. All those in favour of Gail Barton, please show. Thank you. All those in favour of Gordon Birtwistle, please show. Thank you. Any abstentions? Thank you. Gordon Birtwistle is appointed as substitute member for Growth Lancashire. Item number 6E, constitutional updates and reporting. Councillor Afrasiab Anwar, will you move the report which is for noting on this occasion?
I move the report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Margaret Lishman, will you second that?
Second the report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any member on this item? No? Thank you very much. The report is noted. Agenda item 7. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. None have been received, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. That concludes the business of tonight. Everybody enjoy your evening. Members of the council, please. Yeah, thank you. 8:15.